Mia loved stories. From the moment she could read, she was captivated by the tales that filled the pages of her books. Every day after school, she would rush to her room, grab her favorite book, and lose herself in the magical worlds within. Her room was filled with stacks of books, each one a portal to a different adventure. She loved stories about fairies and elves. The delicate wings of the fairies and the mysterious lives of the elves fascinated her. She would often imagine herself as a fairy, fluttering through enchanted forests, or as an elf, living in a hidden village deep in the woods. The illustrations in her books brought these characters to life, making her feel as if she were part of their world. She loved stories about dragons and talking animals. The fierce yet noble dragons with their shimmering scales and fiery breath were her favorite. She would daydream about riding on the back of a dragon, soaring through the skies on thrilling adventures. The talking animals with their wise and witty conversations added a touch of humor and wisdom to her fantasies. Most of all, Mia loved stories about magic. The idea that there was a hidden world of magic just beyond the ordinary one filled her with wonder. She would spend hours imagining spells, potions, and magical creatures. The thought that magic could be real, that it could be just around the corner, made her heart race with excitement.
One day, Mia's grandfather gave her a present. Her grandfather was a kind and gentle man with a twinkle in his eye that hinted at secrets and stories of his own. He had always encouraged Mia's love for reading and often shared tales from his own childhood. This time, however, he had something special for her. It was a beautiful lantern. The lantern was unlike anything Mia had ever seen. It was intricately crafted, with delicate patterns etched into its surface. The metal was cool to the touch, and it felt almost magical in her hands. She could tell that it was something special, something that held a story of its own. The lantern was painted with silver stars and a crescent moon. The celestial design sparkled in the light, making the lantern look like a piece of the night sky. Mia traced the patterns with her fingers, feeling a sense of wonder and anticipation. She knew that this lantern was more than just a beautiful object. It was a gateway to something extraordinary. "This is a magic lantern," her grandfather whispered. His voice was soft and filled with mystery. Mia's eyes widened with excitement. She had always believed in magic, and now it seemed that her belief was about to be rewarded. Her grandfather's words filled her with a sense of anticipation and curiosity. "Light it tonight, and you shall see." Mia's grandfather's words echoed in her mind as she held the lantern close. She could hardly wait to see what would happen when she lit it. The promise of magic was almost too much to bear. She felt a thrill of excitement and a tinge of nervousness as she imagined what the night would bring.
Mia couldn't wait for night. The days seemed to drag on forever as she counted down the hours until she could light the lantern. She kept glancing at the clock, willing the hands to move faster. As the sun began to set, her excitement grew. She could feel the magic in the air, and she knew that something incredible was about to happen. She showed the lantern to her friend Max. Max was her best friend and partner in all her adventures. They had shared countless stories and dreams, and Mia knew that he would be just as excited about the lantern as she was. She could see the curiosity and excitement in his eyes as he examined the lantern.
Max loved adventures. He was always up for exploring new places and discovering new things. The idea of a magic lantern filled him with excitement and wonder. He could hardly wait to see what kind of adventure the lantern would take them on. The forest, the night, and the promise of magic made his heart race with anticipation. He was excited to see what the magic lantern would do. As the night finally fell, Mia and Max found themselves in the forest, holding the lantern between them. The air was cool and filled with the sounds of the night. They could feel the magic all around them, and they knew that they were about to embark on an adventure unlike any other. The lantern glowed softly in the darkness, and they could hardly wait to see what wonders it would reveal.
Night came. The sky was a deep velvety blue, dotted with countless twinkling stars. The air was cool and crisp, carrying the scent of blooming flowers and freshly cut grass. The garden, usually bustling with life during the day, now lay still and serene, bathed in the soft glow of the moonlight. Mia and Max went into the garden. They had been waiting for this moment all day, their excitement barely contained. As they stepped into the garden, the last rays of the setting sun cast long shadows and the first stars began to appear in the sky. The garden seemed to come alive in a different way at night, with the rustling of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl adding to the magical atmosphere. They carefully lit the lantern. The garden shimmered, the trees whispered. The lantern's warm, golden light flickered and danced, casting enchanting shadows on the ground. The trees, with their leaves gently swaying in the night breeze, seemed to whisper secrets to one another. Mia and Max felt a sense of wonder and anticipation, as if they were on the brink of discovering something extraordinary. A silver path appeared before them. It was as if the lantern's light had awakened something magical in the garden. The path, glowing with a soft silvery light, wound its way through the trees, inviting them to follow. Mia and Max exchanged a glance, their eyes wide with amazement and curiosity.
"Wow!" gasped Max. "It's real magic!" His voice was filled with awe and excitement. He had always believed in magic, but seeing it with his own eyes was something entirely different. The path before them seemed to pulse with energy, as if it were alive.
Mia was speechless. She had always been the more skeptical of the two, but now, standing in the glow of the lantern and the silver path, she couldn't deny the magic that surrounded them. Her heart raced with a mixture of fear and excitement. She held the lantern high. The light from the lantern seemed to grow brighter, illuminating the path even more. Mia felt a surge of courage and determination. She knew that they had to follow the path, no matter where it led. They stepped onto the silver path. The ground beneath their feet felt cool and smooth, almost as if it were made of polished stone. With each step, the path seemed to hum with energy, guiding them deeper into the garden. It shimmered and glowed, leading them into the woods. The trees on either side of the path seemed to part, creating a tunnel of light and shadow. Mia and Max walked hand in hand, their hearts pounding with excitement and anticipation. They had no idea where the path would lead, but they knew that they were about to embark on an incredible adventure. The lantern's glow lit their way, and the silver path beckoned them forward into the heart of the enchanted forest. The woods were dark, but the lantern lit their way. The trees whispered secrets in the breeze. Little lights twinkled around them. They were fireflies. Mia and Max followed the path. The air smelled like pine needles and moonlight. Strange and beautiful flowers bloomed along the path. They had never seen anything like it before. A small silver creature suddenly appeared. It was as if the forest itself had conjured this mystical being from the shadows, a guardian of the night. It had the bushy tail of a fox, thick and luxurious, swaying gently as it moved. The tail seemed almost too grand for such a small creature, yet it added to its enchanting presence. And fur that shimmered like moonlight. Each strand of fur caught the light in a way that made it look like the fox was cloaked in a silvery glow, a living embodiment of the moon's gentle radiance.
"Hello," said the creature. "I am Fia." Her voice was soft yet clear, carrying a sense of wisdom and kindness that immediately put the children at ease. "I will be your guide tonight." With a graceful nod, Fia turned and began to lead the way, her movements fluid and almost ethereal.
Mia and Max were amazed. They had never seen anything like Fia before. The forest, which had seemed dark and foreboding, now felt like a place of wonder and magic. Fia was so small and delicate. Yet there was an undeniable strength in her presence, a sense that she was a protector of the forest and all its secrets. Her eyes sparkled like moonstones. They were deep and mysterious, reflecting the light in a way that made them seem almost otherworldly. It was as if she could see into the very soul of the forest.
"Follow me," said Fia. Her voice was a gentle command, filled with promise and adventure. The children felt a surge of excitement as they stepped forward to follow her. There are many wonders to see tonight. The forest seemed to come alive around them, with glowing plants and twinkling lights that danced in the air. It was a night they would never forget. As they walked, Fia pointed out various plants and creatures, each more fascinating than the last. She explained the unique properties of each one, sharing stories and legends that had been passed down through generations. "Look at these flowers," she said, their petals glowing softly in the moonlight. "They only bloom at night and have the power to heal wounds and soothe pain." The children listened in awe, their eyes wide with wonder. Fia led them to a clearing where a small pond sparkled under the moonlight. "This is the heart of the forest," she said. "The water here is pure and has magical properties. It can grant visions of the future to those who drink from it." Mia and Max peered into the pond, their reflections shimmering on the surface. They felt a sense of peace and connection to the forest, as if they were part of something much larger than themselves. Fia sat beside them, her eyes reflecting the moonlight. "Remember," she said, "the forest is alive and full of magic. Respect it, and it will always be your friend." The children nodded, understanding the importance of her words. As they made their way back, the forest seemed to glow with a gentle light, guiding their steps. Fia's presence made them feel safe and protected, and they knew they would always cherish this magical night. When they reached the edge of the forest, Fia stopped and turned to face them. "This is where we part ways," she said. "But remember, I will always be here, watching over you." The children waved goodbye, their hearts full of gratitude and wonder. As Fia disappeared into the shadows, the forest returned to its natural state, quiet and serene. The moonlight filtered through the trees, casting a gentle glow on the path they had walked. Mia and Max knew they had experienced something truly special, a night of magic and discovery that would stay with them forever.